wedding procession, she was already in love with that beautiful doll. She used to bathe it, she used to make it sleep, she used to give it food, and it was her best friend. So once her mother confirmed it to her, according to the child, that he is your bridegroom. And from that day onwards, there was no doubt in her mind that this is my bridegroom. I am married to him. But as the culture and the society is, it was thought that it is just a child's play. A child is playing. And imaginary dolls, imaginary friends, imaginary bridegroom. And the father got her married to a king. And she was married to Bhojraj, the crown prince of Mewar. And this man himself was a very, very learned person, and he had written a couple of books and poetries for Krishna. And he could understand completely this great love of his wife, his young wife. So he initially could understand perfectly well. He had no problem about it. In fact, he made a temple for her also. But as life has it, this great love and dancing and singing and was not understood by her family of marriage, by her in-laws. They found it really strange that this girl is all the time in her mandir playing with Krishna and dancing. At the same time, Meera always said, do your duty. The duty to the husband, the duty to the family was always done. Friends, I want you to give a thought to this. Many people escape from life because they say they are religious and they are spiritual. But that is not what any saint had said. Either you don't be a householder, you be a sadhu, a brahmachari, but if you are a householder or whatever job you are doing, it is your duty to fulfill that. So Meera's one part of her life is very firm in that she was a dutiful wife, she was a dutiful person in the house. She would finish all her work and then all the time be with her Lord. And her husband never had any problem for that. But since the in-laws had a lot of problem, they would poison the mind of the husband. They would say that she's talking to people. She calls people to her room. He would never believe it. But one day, Meera was singing and talking loudly, and the sister-in-law heard that. And she went running to the husband and she said, now you can catch her red-handed. She's talking to a man and that man is in a room. So he gets his sword and he goes there and he finds Meera in her world of bliss with the Lord. And he feels bad for that. And from that day he leaves her alone. He doesn't worry her. He understands. So, but she had her own very firm ideas. Like this family of her marriage followed Durga, the Durga Shakti, and she was told to worship Durga. And she said, I will not do it. And so they were very upset. And they said, why will you not do it? You have married into this family, you have to follow. She said, I will only follow one God, that is my Krishna. So that caused a lot of pain and lot of trauma for her, because from that day, people started thinking that it's better she's not there in a home. She's a blot on a fair name of the family. And she started going out to meet sadhus. She would call sadhus, singers of religious songs. And the sangha she used to make in her home, or she would go out, which at that time was very, very taboo. For a woman to talk to sadhus alone, and that to a royalty, that was considered taboo. And the more she did it, the more her in-laws tried to kill her. Once they sent her poison, and it turned into nectar. Then she was sent a snake. The snake became a garland. And many things like that they tried, but it never succeeded, because she always offered whatever came to her to Krishna. And she said, I'm drinking this nectar in your name. And so it became nectar. And her fame spread far and wide. those days, the way of communication was travel. So these traveling sadhus, as you know, don't stay in one place, they travel. So her fame that there is this dancing queen, this beautiful bhakti of a Krishna she has. She composes music, she's so bold, she's so beautiful. And when we are in her presence, we forget ourselves. We only think of Krishna. And even a Muslim king, Akbar, was so fascinated with this aspect of Meera that he went with Tansen in disguise to meet her. And he was so mesmerized and so overwhelmed that he left a beautiful, expensive garland of jewels at her feet. And he went away. But finally, these things can't be kept hidden, and it came to the notice of Meera's husband. And he was very angry because they were enemies. So he said, when you can meet an enemy and my enemy could see my queen, I don't want to have anything to do with her. And from that day, her husband also turned against her. That was the only person who had supported her in the family. And so he tells her, go and die. You are not fit to live, go and drown yourself. So she goes to the river, she's dutiful, and she feels that if that is what I have to do, let me do it. So she goes to drown herself, and as she steps into the river, Krishna appears to her and he says, no, you have to live. You have to live your life. Go away. So she travels bare feet across the deserts of Rajasthan, and she goes to Vrindavan. And there in Vrindavan, she is very happy. She had never had any need for the jewels, for the comforts of the palace. She got what she wanted. All the time she was with her Lord, dancing, singing, discoursing, talking to sadhus, and being in august company. And at the same time, she was very conscious of her dignity. She was very conscious of being the woman she is and of her power. Of her power, not as in an egoistic state, but of the power of Krishna's love and protection for her. So finally, when this Raja Bhojraj comes to know that my wife is a good lady, now see, she is there, but she has maintained her dignity, and whatever people told me about her was wrong. And he goes there, he repents, and he brings her home. And he is at peace with his wife. Finally, he understands that she's a great master, she's a saint, and he's blessed to have her for a wife. And for the few years or few months, I have no idea, that they lived, she could live peacefully in the palace. And he protected her. But unfortunately, there was a battle and he died in the battle. After this, the in-laws thought this is the best way to get rid of her. So they said, you have to commit sati. She said, I will not commit sati. Now in those days, for a Rajasthani woman to say, I will not commit sati, was like, you will be thrown out. You are no longer a part of the community. And they said, why will you not? Your husband is lying on the fire. And she said, my husband? My husband is alive. I'm married to Girdhar. My husband is not dead. He is eternal. I will not I will not go on to the sati. And then they said, we don't have any need for this one. She can be killed. And the brother-in-law who became the king wanted to kill her. And she was very desperate, upset, because every day she would be tortured at home. And then she wrote to Saint Tulsidas. I think all of you are aware of him. So she asked Tulsidas, मैं क्या करूं? In this situation, मैं क्या करूं? Because ये मुझे जीने नहीं दे रहे और मुझे कृष्णा के लिए जीना है. I want to be in service to my Lord. And he writes back to her and says, leave everybody. सबको छोड़ दो. Just follow your heart, follow Krishna. And forever she left her married home. For a woman in those days to do this was not possible, especially for a queen. But she did this. She left her home forever and she went to Vrindavan and she set up her satsang and she was happy there. Another thing which became a very big problem for the Rajasthani society, especially the high caste, was she chose a guru who was a chamar. Chamar is the people who work with leather, make footwear, and that is one of the lowest of low, untouchable class. And she found that his wisdom is what she needs. And she cut across all caste barriers and considered him a guru and a teacher. And she bowed to him not because of anything else, but because she could find the wisdom of Krishna in that person. She thought that he is the right one to guide her for that time. Also, she had this feeling, and she used to talk to people about it, is all the gopis, most of them were married. Many were unmarried during Krishna's time. All of them would dress beautifully and follow him. So when the gopis in those days could do that, why should not Meera do that? Where is the taboo? The taboo is only of our own making. Even those gopis had problems those days, but they left everybody and they followed Krishna because they followed the call of their soul. They were divinely guided to follow Krishna. Teachings of Mirabai. She taught us many things. You see, what she has done in those days, in medieval times, till today, those taboos do exist. There is still a class barrier, isn't it? Whether we follow it or not, but there is a class barrier. Women are still, in the whole of India, women are still not given their equal place. Still, at certain times, women are not allowed to enter the temple. And many times, they are considered weaker, the weaker sex. But Meera did not have any feminism. She was not doing women's liberation program and all that. She was just saying that we are a part of the whole. The beloved and the bride and the bridegroom, the God and the human, the male and the female. It is all a team. Do we agree this today? Who doesn't agree? This is an interactive workshop. I'm not going to be speaking after this over. You will be speaking. So do you agree that it is a partnership, that somebody is superior or inferior? Yeah? Yes, sir? Do you think it's a partnership between the male and the female? Yes. So here we are not fighting that male superior, female superior, I should put this one down, I should put... No, it's Shiva, Shakti, male, female, day and night. Both are required. Both are required to make a beautiful world. What if there was always night? Or what it was always day? It's not possible. The joy can be experienced when there is sorrow. So even sorrow and joy are required in beautiful doses. What if somebody told us, eat biryani every day? Can we eat it? No. We want to eat dal chawal also. So everything, all flavors of life are required and all partnerships are required. She was filled with the Madhurya Bhav. Madhurya Bhav is nothing but prem, the love. The love what we experience for a child, the love what we experience for our parents, the love what we experience for a lover, for a partner, the love what we experience for God. For her, all were same. And the love between the divine, the beloved, and his beloved or her beloved is the Madhurya Bhav. Here, the lover and beloved become one. When there is total pure love, there is oneness. And she also believed in this, though she considered him to be alive and Sagun, but she also knew he was God. So she was one rare person who believed in both kind of bhaktis, the Sagun and the Nirgun. And all her poetries talk about Viraha Vedana. That is the separation from the beloved. The pain and the anguish and the agony a person has when they are separated from their beloved. Her poetries talk about this. They always talk about merging, melding, being one with her Lord. And this Viraha Bhakti is that which allows our mind to transcend, to know that nothing is important. At one portion of time, everything is transcended and we know, okay, we've experienced this, we've experienced that, we've lived the world, We've had a great partnership with our spouse or our lover. We've had children. Everything, we've had a great life, a great career. But there is something more. And that something more is that soul seeking, that call, the attraction for the divine. And this Viraha Vedana is that when will I, Giridhar, come to you? She was a rebel. She never made any parties, she never made any programs, but in her own way, she did things which people did not do. Until today, it is valid in our lives. She entered places, as I told you, which were forbidden for women. She did not become a sati. She also went against these institutions of marriage, family, caste, clan, royalty, in the realm of bhakti. Then she believed in equality, and she did not think that there should be a separation. That is why she could dance, sing, and talk and discourse with sadhus of the opposite sex. Caste system was not important. She was educated, beautiful, dignified, and fearless. She tackled sexually inappropriate behavior. Now that is very strange, though it has been recorded. There are people who would not like with a woman to come up in life in some ways. So they try sexually empowering somebody is only about supposing you want to take advantage sexually. That is not for sex, it is for power. Anything which happens in that way, which is without love, is only power. So there were certain sadhus who wanted to do away with her. Why should we have this woman with us? It reduces our power, it makes us feel insecure. So one sadhu said, Krishna has told me that I should sleep with you. She just smiled. And during the next satsang, when everybody was here, like this satsang, she laid out a blanket and she said, come, enjoy yourself. And he fell at her feet because what he thought, she'll get scared. She will stop doing whatever she's doing. No, she brought it out into open. And he said, I'm sorry, Ma. I'm sorry, Ma. Mere se kshama kar do, galti ho gayi. Then there was another time when she wanted to enter a place for some religious discourse. And the head of that place would not come to meet her. She sent for him and she was standing outside. And he says, I do not see women because women, in my consciousness, women distract. I, as a sadhu, I'm not supposed to talk to women. And I'm a man and I do not want to talk to a woman. And she very smilingly sent a message. I thought in Vrindavan there was only one man and all women. And he comes down and falls at her feet. Now, this is not against any man or woman. As you know, in the bhakti, the male, the bridegroom is the man, that is Krishna, and the whole of Vrindavan is the gopis. And he said, I'm sorry, Ma. So she never bowed down, but in a very sensible and intellectual and enlightened way, she tackled these problems. And definitely all her teachings have got great significance even till today. Yeah, she said, whatever religion, whatever God anyone wants to follow, it is their choice. It cannot be, it cannot be commanded. It cannot be foisted on them. It is their wish to follow whatever they want to follow. So, how does this wisdom apply to us today? We learn about wisdom of sages, but how does it apply? Stand up for yourself and your values. Do you agree? Do you agree? Yes. Whatever is your consciousness, whatever your consciousness says, she did that. Follow your heart and your consciousness. Trust in the divine of your understanding. Friends, the divine can be Krishna, can be Rama, can be Jesus, can be Allah, can be anyone. Even your parents, if you think they are your God, it's fine. The God of your understanding. Trust in that and believe. Get in tune with the music of the universe. Express yourself. Do you believe this? What is the music of the universe? From here, we are going to have an interaction. The surrounding, all the beauty that you can see in our everyday life, we do not hear the birds chirping. We do not allow the breeze to come on our face because we are busy in the morning. When the leaves rustle, there is a sound. When the water flows, there is a sound. That is the music of the universe. And there is a music which you make, which your beautiful soul makes when you hum, when you sing along, when you skip along. That is your music. So we align our music to the music of the universe. And we also create. We create whatever comes. It's not about saying, मुझे dance करना नहीं आता, मुझे sing करना नहीं आता, मुझे poetry करना नहीं आता. Everybody knows everything, but we are scared. We are scared of what people might say, of what others might think. But one thing which Meera has told and shown in her life is, we are not bothered. There is a poetry where she says, I have lost the lok laj. Lok laj is, I have lost the shame in society because I sit with sadhus. So what she says is, don't worry. You have your music, your body has its rhythm. Please go with that. Follow that. Create poetry, even if it is one line. Just say. Once you start saying, it'll, like a spring, it'll sprout from you. Focus on your goals. How many times we think of many things. This one is shouting at me. That one is troubling me, with me. I have this problem, that problem. We do. But with all that, we forget our goals. What is it that I'm here for now? What was Meera's goal? Just to do bhakti with Krishna. And for that, she was always on track. So all her teachings are very valid today. Have your goal, have the focus on your goal. Then, let go of all that does not suit you. Sometimes we are in unnecessary things, having problems and dramas with somebody, when we can say, Ore, jaane do baba, let that one live and let me live. If I'm having a problem at work, let me disconnect from that problem and carry on with whatever other thing I have. If I'm having a problem with my spouse, either I accept her, him, or let them be. So, there is a way of letting go. It's difficult. Even for her, you think she was a young queen in the palace with so many guards, with so many in-laws who were only there to take her life. But did she lose track of her goal? No. She let it all go. She knew what she wants. So we need to know, get into meditation, friends. If we want to know our soul purpose, our life purpose, get into meditation. Understand. Try to hear the voice and the sound of our soul. We will know what is our goal and also what we need to let go. Sometimes we are hanging on to things which are not at all required. Just let it go. It will be difficult in the beginning. Slowly, I have also gone through that, friends. I'm not just telling you because I have to give a class. With great difficulty, I also went through a lot of trauma in my life. But with Dr. Newton's help and with my meditation and my practice, I realized just let go what you need to let go. You will be more happy. Do your duty and in alignment with your heart and soul. She did her duty to her family, to her husband, but it was in alignment with her soul. If she thought this is not a part of my duty, thought as in her consciousness, she let it go. But if she knew that this is my duty, she would do it. So same way, let us be in alignment. Let us not run away from our duties. Let us not ignore our duties saying, मैं meditation में बैठा हूँ, अभी मुझे I don't want to hear what my wife is saying, my child is saying. Or the wife says, I'm in a class and for 3 days I don't know who you are. No. You be in your class when you're in the class. But when you're at home, be the mother, be the wife, be whatever you need to be. Be in balance. Then find new pathways to reach your destination. One window is closed, the other window will open. But only if I seek. If I don't seek and I'm always facing the closed door and I don't look around and see there's a door there also, I'll never find it. So how will you look around? You will open your meditative eyes. You will open the inner visions to find new ways of reaching your goal, of reaching your destination. Humanity is more important than caste and creed, that you know. Be the change you want. That is today's new age philosophy. But Meera told it in 14th century. Be the change you want. She didn't wait. Raja Bhojraj will rescue me from all these people, will allow me, will do this, will do that. No. She made the changes what are necessary for her. So in your life, there might be many changes you need to make, but you're scared, or you don't want to make them, or you're worried, or there are many things attached to the change, or it does not suit you. Whatever it might be, friends, we are all humans. This is not a judgmental thing. We all need to get into that place meditatively and see, even if little, how I can make a change for the better. Men and women can have equal opportunities in life. Immerse in the raga of life, heed the call of your soul. Please emerge. Go into the beauty, go into the beauty, go into the love, go into the happiness, go into the nature, go into things what you love to do. Yeah, everybody is working, everybody has a family, we are tired, but still, that I need somebody, needs some rest, needs some response from nature, needs some happiness. Let's follow our happiness. Okay? We are not the last. See, Dr. Newton says, you be so full that you can give to others. If I'm not full of joy, how can I impart joy? If I'm not done my inner work, how can I help you to do your inner work? If I can't dance and sing, how I can expect you to dance and sing? So let me do whatever pleases my soul. Let me open up. Let me open all my chakras, all my consciousness. Let me get all the beauty. Let me be subject to all the beauty in the world. And then let me choose what suits me. Okay, friends, how many of you have wondered what happened to Meera? Does anyone know? What happened to Meera? Yes, friends. What happened to Paramahansa? Does anyone know? Yes. What happened to Christ? Today? Today's Easter Sunday. Anybody a Christian here? He rose. He was no longer there. He merged with the divine. So same way, Meera merged with the divine. She was put into a place like a prison. Her brother-in-law finally wanted to get her killed. Though she was so far away from him, he didn't leave her. He always thought she is a blot on the fair name of the Bhojraj family. So he sent his men, pakad ke lalo, utha lo. And these people told her, aapko jana hai, ghar jana hai. She said, give me little time to spend with my Girdhar. They locked her. They were not sure she'll escape. But at that moment, Giridhar appeared, they locked her in the temple. In that inner sanctum sanctorum of that, the temple is there if you Google. And that Meera temple, Krishna temple, she entered and she sat in front of his murti and she said, I'm there for you. You do what you want with me. And when they opened that place, only one piece of a sari was to be found. Body and soul, she was lifted up. Like Christ's mother, Mother Mary, she was also lifted up body and soul. Christ escaped from his, where they had put him. They thought that he's dead. So they put him in a cave and locked it, but he was not there. And friends, I want to share with you, it's not only about saints. I also was a very small girl. My father is from the army. I was in the 9th class and I had gone to military hospital for something. And there is a small temple as soon as you enter military hospital, Trimilgiri. And I was wondering about this temple, and my father said there's a history behind that. There was a Hindu soldier who was rebelling against the army, British army. And they wanted to put him to death. And he was a very holy man. He was rebelling against something. So he was put into that place. And he kept writing Rama, Rama, Rama on the walls with a piece of stone. And when they opened the place in the morning, they didn't find him there. They only found that Rama, he was not there. So friends, samadhi is not only for the saints. It is our belief, our prayer, our whole consciousness that can get samadhi. All down the line, people have had samadhi. Even till this incident which I have seen the place, it is converted into a temple now. And there are thousands of people who have had samadhi. We don't know about them. So it's a state of grace, friends. Doubts, we are human beings, and all of us have our own personal limitations, our societal limitations, and doubts in our mind. They will be there always. But how do we get over that? How do we transcend? The one and only way of transcending is meditation, sir. We need to sit in meditation, and we have this inner source, the source which is connected to the source. Our inner higher self is connected to the source. The more and more we sit in meditation and bring our issues to mind, we hear the voice of our soul. It's a very subtle journey, but it is a sure journey, sir. After this session, we can talk some more if you like about this. Right, thank you, sir. Yes, in front. Yes. See, this is her wisdom. It was her journey. If she had to, every soul comes on a journey, right? We all agree that. We have a blueprint before we come here. We bring our blueprint with us. Her blueprint was following her soul path and her life path in the presence of Krishna. So, that was her journey. It is not at all necessary that you focus only on one God. If your heart expands to focus Durga and whoever else, including just now I told you your parents. My brother-in-law used to think that his parents are God, he would not worship. So that's your soul journey. We are talking about what she thought, what was her journey and how she achieved it. But if you feel that I would like to have all these beautiful masters in my life, yeah, you're most welcome, sir. There is not necessary. It's not necessary to follow just one. Absolutely. In the words of Osho, the great master, he says, even if you're sweeping the floor or you're cooking the food, that is your meditation if you're totally into it. He says the song, the instrument and the person who's playing it, when they are one, it is meditation. So ma'am has got that enlightenment that I can do meditation in many ways. Let us find our answers through dance, through music, through silence. Gently open your eyes. Yes, friends, this is also one more path to meditation. It's not only closing your eyes and sitting. Dance, hear music, be in nature. Just be in that. Carry with you, friends, all beauty, all happiness, all joy. Stay blessed. Thank you, friends.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
హలో ఫ్రెండ్స్, పిఎంసి ఆన్లైన్ని సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకోండి. సరికొత్త అప్డేట్స్ కోసం బెల్ బటన్ని నొక్కండి.